A lot of us have to sit all day long, and it's no secret that chronic sitting causes aches and pains. Oftentimes, people will have achy lower backs, and that's because usually they're sitting on their tailbone and rolling back against their backrest. So one thing that you can do to protect your lower back when you're sitting is to scoot your bottom all the way to the back of your chair, and as you lean forward and scoot your bottom back, and then sit up, you're positioning yourself on your sitz bones, which is going to stack your spine naturally upright. Another common problem is shoulder pain, upper back pain, neck pain, and that's because we're reaching forward and usually craning our head toward a screen. And so here are a couple little tips that you can do to help prevent that kind of pain. Number one, you want to make sure that your chair is close to your workstation. Right off the bat, if you're too far back and your arms are extended forward, you're putting a lot of static loading on your muscles, which over time is really going to add up to be a lot of chronic pain. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your upper arm is perpendicular to the ground. So the upper arm is just hanging right at your side. And everything revolves around the height of your keyboard. You want to make sure that your wrists are below your elbows. You don't want them up high because, again, it's that same static loading, non-stop flexing your muscles. You want to make sure that you can relax your arms down. Another thing to really look out for is the position of your wrists when you're typing. A lot of people kind of lazily drop their wrists down and then kind of type from this position. And when you have a kink in your wrist, you're putting yourself at a lot of risk for tennis elbow and those sort of aches and pains that happen up in your forearm. So you really want to make sure that it's nice and straight through here as you're typing. Another thing is the height of your monitor. So you want to make sure that your monitor is not going to have you kinking your neck or rounding forward. And so what I like to do is I like to kind of get in a nice position. I roll my shoulders back, I let my chin drop, I let the back of my neck lengthen and relax. I close my eyes, and when I open my eyes, I see where they fall on the monitor. And when I opened my eyes, they fell right about, 2/3 of the way up on my monitor, and that's perfect. That's right where I want it. Another thing that can cause pain is a misplaced mouse. So see, my mouse is up here, which is exactly where I do not want it. Not only is it far away from my body, but my wrist is above my elbow. So if I'm clicking in this position up here, over time that repetitive movement in that vulnerable position is going to cause me pain. So I don't even use a mouse like this. At home, I use a tablet mouse, which is great because when I have my palm down, like when I'm typing or using this kind of mouse, it automatically is going to invite my shoulder to roll forward. But using this, it's just like a pen, and if I want to do a click, I just do a little tap on the little pad here, and right away it takes some of that strain off of my shoulder. So I really like this kind of mouse. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but give it a couple days and you'll love it too. Another thing that's really important is to mix up your position a little bit. If you're in the same position all day long, even if it's a ergonomically healthy position, it's still not good for you. So you want to have a couple alternate positions up your sleeve. So one alternate position that I like is I scoot my chair really far back and I sit right at the very edge. So those sitz bones of mine are being tilted, or my pelvis is being tilted, and I'm just kind of right on the edge of my sitz bones here, and I can put my feet nice and wide to really stabilize myself and work like this for a little bit. It really changes it up, it changes the dynamic. Another thing that I do when I feel like I want to kind of shift my position a little bit is I have a little inflatable wedge right here. And I've seen inflatable discs. You can even use kind of a rolled up towel to put just under your bottom. But I just put this right here in the middle of my chair, and when I sit on it, it's rolling my pelvis forward, pushing me kind of onto those sits bones, and I use it without the backrest, and it's just kind of, again, a nice alternative to leaning back. So another thing that's really important is that you want to be able to make sure that your legs are relaxed when you're sitting at your desk. A lot of women are in the habit of squeezing their legs together, even crossing their legs and squeezing them together that way. And so that's actually creating a lot of, well, imbalance in the way you sit when your legs are crossed, but even just squeezing your legs together is really chronically like making the muscles in your legs tight, and they pull on your pelvis, and it just sets off a chain reaction in your body. And so it's a hard habit to break, actually, but when you're sitting at your workstation, have a nice wide base and let your legs take up a little bit of your weight, and it's going to really help you to feel stable and secure and balanced. I have a bunch of exercises, it's on another video on my YouTube channel, that you can do from your desk while you're at work, that are stretches and exercises that are going to improve your posture and just kind of give you a little reset throughout the day. So be sure to check those out as well, and be sure to subscribe.